What's up, extraordinary people? I'm Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Strange World, which is the latest film from Walt Disney Animation Studios. Strange World was directed by Don Hall and stars the voice talents of Jake Gyllenhaal, Dennis Quaid, Jaboukie Young-White, Gabrielle Union, and Lucy Liu. And it's kind of an adventure sci-fi story that's kind of a throwback to pulp magazines of the early 20th century. The film tells the story of the Clade family who lives in a country called Avalonia, which is completely surrounded by impassable mountains. Believing that their future lies beyond these mountains, the patriarch of the Clades, Jaeger Clade, becomes an explorer and dedicates his life to trying to cross the mountains and find out what's on the other side. However, on one of his missions, his son Searcher finds a plant called Pando that generates electricity, and decides to stop trying to cross the mountains and instead take the plant back home. Jaeger insists on going forward, and the two of them split up, with Jaeger going on and never being seen again, and Searcher and the rest of the group returning home with the Pando plant. In the years that follow, Searcher is able to cultivate the plant and make a name for himself, while using the plant to revolutionize Avalonia's technology and society. However, when a strange disease threatens the Pando plant, and by extension their whole civilization, Searcher must join a team of explorers to follow the plant's roots down to the center of the Earth, where they find themselves in the middle of a strange world unlike anything they've seen before. So, Strange World is a pretty interesting movie. The closest Disney films I can compare it to are probably Atlantis the Lost Empire and Treasure Planet, which are both great films if you haven't seen them. But Strange World is similar to those in that it's kind of this retro-futuristic sci-fi adventure genre that's reminiscent of Jules Verne or early 20th century pulp magazines. I personally love those kind of stories. I love science fiction, I love adventure, and I didn't really think Disney made these kind of movies anymore, so I'm pretty glad this movie exists. I think it lives up for the most part to what it's trying to do, which is be a really fun adventure. The visuals and worlds are extremely imaginative, with these fantastical creatures and weird landscapes, and it's all really unique and cool. The action scenes in this film are really exciting as well, and have a feeling of stakes and danger to them that I often don't get from modern animated films, even some Disney films. There's a point in an action scene early in this movie, and this isn't really a spoiler, but a minor character gets very nonchalantly killed off in the middle of the scene, and it just sets this mood where you feel like anything could happen or no one is really safe. And I respected that this movie did that. This story also has a lot of emotional weight to it. It's basically a story about generational consequences, if you will. And although I'm not going to spoil anything, of course, that theme is explored in more ways than you would expect. Now, I do think the theme is telegraphed a little too early in the movie, so that some of the ways it goes are a little too predictable. And it becomes easy to see early in the movie where certain characters are going with their development. But honestly, I don't really care about that too much. The themes here are really good, the characters are really enjoyable, and I think the movie pulls off what it's trying to do successfully for the most part. Now, my one other complaint with this movie is that some of the world building doesn't totally add up, per se. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a point in this movie where something is revealed about the world they're exploring, and they realize what the nature of this world really is and where they actually are. And I don't know if everything about that revelation totally adds up. I think for the most part the revelation is pretty cool and very unique, and I really liked it a lot, but it does raise some questions about things we saw earlier in the film, or that we see later. Again, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but once you see the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Overall, though, I really enjoyed Strange World. I thought it was a refreshing change of pace from the typical type of movie we get from Disney. I didn't think Disney did adventure movies like this anymore. I liked the worlds, I liked the characters, I liked the themes. And overall, I thought it was a really fun time. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Strange World a 9. Now let's see. I feel like there was something else about this movie I should talk about. I feel like there was something people online were like upset about, or didn't like about this movie for some reason.
You do not wish your kids to see a gay teen romance. Don't take your kids.
It was going to be focused on a gay teen romance in an environmental propaganda message. No, probably what the
LGBT represent talk about their trans kid and their non-gender binary.
Nah, there's nothing about this movie anyone should reasonably be upset about. Alright guys, have you seen Strange World? If so, let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember that you're extraordinary. I love all of you so much. Bye.